whenever they did the same thing? Did he work at all these other companies whenever they did all of the same things? Come on. Like, I think that this is just the way that the market was heading. And you can look at just consumer trends and everything. This
After each turn, cards here to lose 1 power. Ooh, that's cool. We don't really want to put stuff there. What does Mantis do? If your opponent played a card here this turn, draw a card from their deck. Oh shit, okay. Whoever is winning this location gets +3 power at other locations. That's good. Okay, I think we just play this here.
Victory.
Get shit on. Give a player in each player's hand +1. Okay. Do that. Snap is out. Hey, Moxie, how's it going? Welcome back to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Oh, wow, my face is pretty bright over here. Sun's really getting it. Add a 9 power monster to each player's. Okay, for each player. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Have you gotten to play this game yet, Moxie? Yeah, if you've played Hearthstone, it's from the same guy that originally helped like create Hearthstone, Ben Brode. And I honestly am enjoying it a lot more than I ever did Hearthstone. And I enjoyed Hearthstone. Cards here have -2 power, so no people there aren't gonna be really wanting to play that. A retreat and them. All right, first to fill this breaks out a 6 cost card at 0 cost. Okay. Let's go ahead and start filling that baby out then. After turn 3, shuffle your hand into your deck. Draw 3 cards. Damn, okay. We're just gonna keep filling this. Isle of Silence. Ongoing effects are disabled here. That's the first time I've seen that one. I think we just keep filling this baby. Ooh, Slice is fucking Iron Man. That's rough. Alright. Ooh, Himdall. I haven't seen that card. Move your other cards 1 location to the left. I think I'm gonna just set Heimdall over here because they kind of like where I'm at. All right, let's reinforce this. Your total power is doubled at this location. Yeah, let's do that. Bitch. You know what? This is a pretty interesting talk. I think we're gonna watch this. You guys watch what I'm watching.
Phil Spencer talks Starfield, Baldur's Gate, and more. Here we go.
Joining us here on Gamescom Studio, the head of Xbox himself, Phil Spencer.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. It's good to have you here on the set to talk about Xbox.
It's awesome to be here at Gamescom. I haven't been since 2017.
Really?
So yeah, were you here last year?
Nope, I skipped last year.
I am like just jazzed. It's so cool to see everybody, and it's fantastic to be at Gamescom. I guess the biggest consumer game show on the planet.
It's you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You know what else was cool to see? That
What?
Starfield presentation that you and Todd introed a little bit ago.
It's all Todd.
Oh shit.
I was there to intro Todd.
Yeah.
That's my job.
You were the setup
I
guy.
fucked
I
that
carry
up.
his bag and I intro him.
Starfield's a huge moment for Xbox, obviously. When is the last time Xbox has had a moment this big?
I think, well,
It was Halo Infinite. You guys fumbled that one, so let's see what happens.
I think
He's probably thinking of Redfall.
well, I think every month, every time we're doing something that
Yeah.
changes hopefully enhances a customer's experience
Volume
on
up.
Xbox is important. You think about big new IP that has launched on the platform. I might go back to like like Gears 1. I don't know, like a game that is brand new IP. It's Todd's first game in the BGS team as part of Xbox, launching on the platform. It's a big moment, and I'm proud
Gears
that we were
1
able
was
to
a
give
big
them
deal.
time, and really happy with the results. You have a build,
Yeah.
but you're not playing because you're working.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say about it, so I don't want to break
you
embargo. or
booted it?
anything. I have turned it on.
That's an embargo break. Like,
Oh no! Well, I'm blacklisted now. Oh well. Sorry, Todd. Baldur's Gate 3 is the talk of the town right now.
great game.
You know, this RPG comes along, kind of takes the internet by storm. Do you think it's set expectations for Starfield, or did it steal a little bit of the thunder?
I don't think it has anything to do with Starfield. I mean,
I think every game has something to do with every other game. I think that really, because people are choosing to play a certain game, like there are like these, like for example, there are like FIFA, right? And like some of these sports games that people that aren't gamers play, like Wii Fit, like yeah, maybe those are kind of outside of the space, but like every game is kind of competing with every game for your attention. But yeah, I do think that people will judge Starfield off of Baldur's Gate 3. Sure. I think people will judge a lot of games off of Baldur's Gate 3 from now on.
great games coming out. It's a good thing for the industry. First,
It is.
congrats to Larian and the team. I think it's like, what, a 97 rated game or something. As somebody who finished the original Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2, and what was the expansion for Baldur's Gate 1? Forgotten Shores or something. Like, I'm a huge Baldur's Gate fan. And to see
All right.
a team spend the time to make, I think, a true next iteration of a classic gaming franchise is always just great for the industry.
Speaking of next iterations, you know, Skyrim came out, what, 12 years ago? Just
Fun
got an
reveal, give
anniversary
3
edition, and it's
other
been
friendly
supported by
cards
amazing
to power.
mining.
Oh, okay.
Has
That's
the
kind of
same
a
thought been put towards
bad
Starfield
card
and
for him
supporting
there.
This
it
is a
and
great question. I'm
let's go
really
ahead
glad
and
he
try to
asked
beat
this.
him
for
here.
the future?
Absolutely. And
All
I
right.
don't want to disclose what the team has been thinking about, but
Yeah.
obviously when you're BGS and you've seen the legs and the support that Skyrim gets even today, right? When you look at what the modders have done, it went into the thinking about what Starfield should be, and like proof will be out in terms of how people receive the game. But our hope
Cards
is
with
that
the highest
it is
power
another game that's
get
around
3
a
plus
decade
3 here.
longer,
Fuck yes.
later after it launches, and people are still enjoying it.
I think the last time you were in the hot seat was over.
Is this the hot seat?
I'm really curious to know what's going to happen with Starfield, because I think it's just such a mixed bag. Like I really don't know what to expect. Like, as I said, it's like at the beginning, I was very underwhelmed. And then they did that second, like a 1 hour presentation about Starfield. And then I was like, maybe this is actually pretty good. And I rethought the way I looked at the game. And now, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'll play Starfield. I do plan on
GG,
playing
dude.
Starfield. But I don't know really... I don't know if I'll stick with it. I don't know what's going to happen. I've never finished a Bethesda game ever. No, I never have.
right now.
Yeah, the hot
Okay.
seat.
He doesn't
over
retreat.
here on,
He's
IGN.
dumb, though.
But you were at our friends
Release
Kind of
could
Funny
be the day
and
after. I
doing
don't know.
the
Depends on our
XCast
report.
around
Yeah.
the launch of Redfall.
Yeah.
Which, you know, was obviously problematic at launch. Have any internal processes or procedures been changed to make sure that sort of reaction or issue doesn't arise again?
Well, we're always learning in everything
Sword
we do, no doubt
Master.
about that.
Discard
I
a
would say
card
that-
from your
and
hand.
I shared some of this, but with Redfall, it was more of us not using our internal processes. That
Fuck
were in
yeah,
place
get shit
already,
on, dude.
Just because of wind integration.
Yes.
I'm not using COVID as an
Bedazzled.
excuse, but you know, we did close the ZeniMax acquisition, and then everybody got sent home, and it was just not as easy as maybe some of the earlier companies, studios that we'd acquired in terms of integrating in our
I,
process.
mean, I think the reality is they just need to have... I feel like Xbox is in a position where, like, why would somebody buy an Xbox? Why would somebody be like a... Like, Game Pass as like a massive... like service, I think is the incredible. Like, it's fucking amazing. But I don't know if Xbox has as many like blockbuster big games that as PlayStation does. I feel like PlayStation has more of them. And I think Xbox, like, they need to fucking... They need to go into the fucking basements of Microsoft headquarters, something like that. And, you know, the fucking break on emergency thing that says Gears of War on it, they need to bust that shit the fuck down. Because we haven't had a Gears of War since how long? When was the last time we had Gears of War? I don't even remember. And they
After
just
you play a
decided
card,
they
add a
just
copy
forget about this.
to
It was
another
fucking
location?
Amazing. 2019. Well, it's about time. Yeah, it's about time to see another one. I think so. And same thing
Fuck
with
yeah.
Halo Infinite. Like, I think that they need to provide. Like, it's just like whenever I think of Xbox, I think of Halo, and I think of Gears of War. Those are the two main games that I think of whenever I think of Xbox. Is there a third one? I feel like there's probably a third one. Fable. Yes, Fable. I also would probably think of Fable. Forza, I'm not a big racing guy. We are getting a new Fable, which is good. That's great, even though it was, you know, that weird shit with the trailer. But like, I would say two of the main flagship games really are not happening. You know? I think it's a big problem that Xbox has. It is a big problem.
But that's all on us. So I'm not trying to deflect any of the criticism. But absolutely, anytime we launch anything, and we're going to learn from the launch of Starfield, we're going to learn from the launch of Forza, and we reevaluate our process because we want to make sure we're exceeding customers' expectations with everything we do.
Yeah, I'm always sort of curious about that. Like, what causes that?
In my opinion, I think that the future of Halo is making a game that is set probably before
Oh
like,
shit.
in
Okay.
like the Reach era. With like
I just
a lot
killed
of
him there.
different players, like I'm, you know, a big online game Andy, and I think it would be really cool if you could play with other Spartans and shit like that in the game. I think that would be awesome. That was what I had always hoped for. A prequel, yeah, because I feel like right now, like Halo is. It's very hard for Halo to be anything more than like a campaign, and a, you know, like just a base game, right? Because like there aren't really like the game is basically
6,
all about
double
messaging,
that there.
right? Like let's be honest. And if it wasn't, people would be mad.
Fuck.
So like I think they have to scale that back and then make a more involved experience. Unreal Tournament as well. Yeah. Whatever happened to that? AKA Destiny? Yeah. Basically make Halo Destiny. Just without 500 different expansion packs.
So, like, is it the cert process? Is it like?
It's what Infinite should have been, but it wasn't.
That sort of stuff is missed. So I appreciate you being candid about it.
Yeah, and I'd say one of the things that was helpful for us with Starfield was our long working relationship with BGS, which you know well. Like if you go back to original
Shuffle
Xbox,
your hand into
like,
your
and
deck.
what we've done with those teams.
Draw 3 cards.
So the relationship
Okay.
between Todd, BGS, and our platform team was just stronger than it was with
Come on, Ed.
not because of and the team at Arcane, not because of anything other than just relationships. Like we've just known them longer. So
Sure,
Todd
that makes
brought
sense.
in the team brought in the ATG group early to start working on Starfield, and that's on us. Like we should have done that with Arcane. We should have helped them more in the development process, and also just made it clear that shipping
At the start of your turn,
has a different level
6
of
swap
expectation.
hands.
That it's not always true that every team that comes into being part of a first party is aware of when it launches. Feel great about where we are with
I
Starfield.
didn't even think Redfall was that big of a deal to them. I just thought like, oh, it's a new game that's coming out on Xbox. Okay, whatever.
After turn 3, shuffle your
Oh, it
hand.
sucks?
into your
Okay, whatever.
deck. Okay.
Field, we put out the review codes.
Marathon's
After you
last
play
weekend, so we're
a
giving reviewers
card here,
plenty of
destroy
time
it.
to spend
you're,
time
like,
with the game, and I think all
21?
of that's just a sign of the confidence that we have.
Yeah.
You tricked me into breaking embargo. Thanks.
That's
a lot.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. You're done. No. We do really appreciate people playing and giving us feedback. Like the build that you have, it's not actually the final build. So we're always taking feedback and refining back in, and this is an important part of the process. So thank you for at least loading the game.
Oh, I played like an hour, but
Okay.
I got this whole. I got an interview with Phil Spencer to plan for.
Somebody in chat got a good point. Redfall was Xbox's Forspoken. Yeah, there you go.
Another game here, though, that we got VCD was Forza Motorsport.
Yes.
You're showing off the Italian track.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But big improvement graphically from what we saw at Summer of
I've
Gaming.
always thought Forza is just a graphics demo.
I am curious, though, what are your thoughts on how Forza Motorsport?
Because it looks great.
I'll start with Turn 10. I think from the beginning of Turn 10, when that studio was formed, they've always been a technical showcase for us. A gentleman named Chris Tector
Cars
is
look
the
great.
tech architect for us there, and has just done
That's
a
awesome.
great job of getting everything out of
Start
the
a
hardware.
swap
I'm a
hands.
huge motorsport fan. Have been from the time
Okay,
we launched
I'm gonna
that.
get this
so
shit
I've been
outta
playing
here.
builds and seeing the progress that they've been making. And I think you're right. Like graphically, where they are right now, it's
How are you?
stunning. The game, what they're doing with
How are
ray
you?
tracing and other things. But I always love that they've turned 10 is be able to start with motorsport, expand to Horizon, which Forza Horizon's now kind of a top tier Xbox franchise. I think you can't argue about that. It's just like the number of players that game builds, and their relationship.
This is just like, I can't believe people play a game just to drive around. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not the target audience.
With Playground and what they're doing with Fable. I mean, it's just been awesome to see how
Yeah, I don't
Turn
get it.
10, a studio that was literally just kind of
I don't get it.
homegrown within Xbox.
Like
has turned
Queen
into
on
such a
real
force
copy the
for us.
highest cost
Got any
in your opponent's hands. Okay. Carnage,
I'll let
dude.
the team. I was actually
Destroy one of your
on
cards
Project
here.
Ego, the
Plus
first
2 to
Fable that
each
we
put,
launched, which I find some humor in the
for each
codename of
destroyed.
Project Ego with all the personalities involved. But it's nice to see the team kind of
Just talking
embracing what
shit.
was Fable, the humor, the kind of
Yeah.
choice and consequence and everything. So really looking forward to showing more.
Yeah. I
The
really
one
enjoyed
class
it.
cards have
I hope
plus
Fable is
1
good.
power.
I mean, like, I'll definitely play Fable whenever it comes out. I'm gonna be real. Like, I will. Like, I played the original Fable. I never played any. I played the expansion to Fable before Jason stole it from me. But after that, I never played Fable 2. I never played. I think it was Fable 3 came out too. I never played any of them.
The trailer you showed also
Thanks.
during the last reveal. But back,
I think I
going
should
back
have
to
just
Forza, you
reinforced the
actually
other one.
dropped the
I
number.
fucked up.
So is Forza Motorsport becoming a service platform, or like what's with the change?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, the team
GG.
service platform. I hesitate a little bit because I think there's a lot of loadedness in
Games as
like
a
what
service.
what that means. I think what we see with Forza is the evolution of the experience as much about the tech as it is tracks and cars. And we know that when people make an investment in the game, they want to make sure we continue to support the game. And in some ways, when you put a numeral on the end of the franchise, it instantly says, okay, well, now you need to move to like Forza N+1. And it's like, no, we want this to be a place that people feel like they can invest their time, they can invest their experience, and know that this is a place that we're going to be investing in Forza Motorsport for years to come.
You've had a ton of reveals. Avowed was revealed.
Yeah.
What else do I have on?
South of Midnight.
Perfect Dark, South of Midnight,
Yeah.
Hellblade, Hellblade 2, Senua Sacrifice.
I don't know if it's like I feel like.
After in
I
4,
like
whoever
that
is
in terms
winning
of
here
MMOs,
draws 2
But
cards.
I don't know
Okay.
if every game has
Go
to
there.
be like just like a forever game. I don't know if that's the right option to make like a racing game like that.
After you
Why
play all
not?
the cards,
I feel like games like that lose
play a card here,
momentum.
fill the
Like, they
location
come
with
out
copies of it.
and Unless there's like
Interesting.
crazy new content that comes out for them that's like completely innovative. Like, what are they going to add into Forza? It's not like they can add in, oh, this time we're going to add in, I don't know, like motorcycles maybe, or not motorcycles, like fucking flying cars. Cars with 3 wheels, you know, cars with swords on the side of them. They're probably not going to add in a lot of that stuff.
Murder
So
World,
it's like, how can you really
after
innovate
turn
the game
3,
enough
destroy
to
all
make it
cards here.
interesting for people to come back and play it again?
Okay.
Because that's the biggest challenge that live service games have. It's not getting people to
I'm
play
just gonna
them,
keep
it's
going
getting
here.
people to come back and play them again. Because most people will try out a live service game, and then once they kind of hit the plateau on content, then they leave. But what was going to get somebody to actually come back and try it again? Chariots to a death race? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Can you tell us more about
New
the rest
cars
of
every
2023
year?
and beyond, and sort of like what that's looking like for
Again,
Xbox?
maybe I'm just not the audience.
What I can say is we're going to have more beats to talk about.
Yeah, maybe I just
more
I
of
don't,
what we do because
maybe I
the
don't
content
resonate with
lineup
that
is
audience, so I don't
strong.
get it.
And I
That's
say
the way that I think it.
completely
Okay.
recognizing that 2022 wasn't so
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
But you know, we have our biggest booth here.
Definitely wanna
at
win that.
Gamescom, and we have a huge presence. I think there's like 30 plus playable games on our floor, a lot of first party games. Towerborn's here, Ara's here, obviously Forza is. So like, it's awesome to see the footprint that we have in the game portfolio from our first party, from partners, from Game Pass, all of it. So I think what you're going to see from us, where maybe the last couple of years we've been more on an annual in terms of when we talk about our games around, I still call it E3, around the E3 timeframe. This year we did Developer Direct in January. We did our showcase. We're here in a big...
Yeah, it's sad that we don't have E3 anymore. It is. Now everybody does their own show.
We've ever been at Gamescom, and you're going to see more regular times to talk about our games because the portfolio is deep enough that we can support that.
Matt Booty promised us 4.
Yeah.
Are you on track?
For this year?
Well, let's see specifically what he said. Yeah.
I wonder if he
First
plays
party
the same
per year.
thing here.
We more than that this year. If we start with Hi-Fi, Minecraft Legends, Redfall. Maybe people don't want to give us credit for Redfall. I get it, but I understand. Starfield, Forza. We just dropped H4 console last night.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna play that. And then going into next year, absolutely. Like we have talked about it as an aspiration.
So
but
interesting.
Now we're gonna talk about it as our plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Big news, everybody. I don't know if you heard. Final Fantasy 14 is finally coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
I got to go to the show. That
It was
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah.
I've been covering that story for like a decade. Like
Yeah.
since I started at IGN.
You've been a proponent for it.
Yeah, that community is so welcoming. It's an amazing, amazing community.
Being there with at the Final Fantasy Fan Fest thing was awesome. The first time I'd ever been. It's just
There we go.
And they're stoked about it.
Got win.
Xbox.
And so is Yoshi, which is great.
Yeah. Now you hinted that other games.
Did I
could
hint,
become-
or was it the CEO of Square that
the
hinted?
CEO of Square?
Okay, I just wanted to make
hinted.
sure who was clear on who was hinting.
So where's Final Fantasy 7? Are we going to get 16? What does that mean?
Ooh, good question.
I recognize.
I feel like they're probably going to bring it
GG.
out. I wouldn't be surprised if Final Fantasy 16 came to Xbox after it came to PC. I wouldn't be surprised. And I think if that one comes to Xbox, there's a chance that Final Fantasy 7 could. I don't know.
That when people buy an Xbox, they want to make sure the great games that they want to play are coming.
They don't want any weeb shit
And
on
if there's any publisher out there where that hasn't been true, Square is one of the top profiles. So, like, Sarah Bond and I know, like, fly to Tokyo, have conversations, and we've spent a lot of time with Square. There's obviously business deals and relationships that will have to get worked through on certain games, but I'll say it was really great to have the CEO of Square and Yoshi there to just talk about their commitment to Xbox, because I can say, like, I'm the head of Xbox, blah, blah, blah. But having the CEO of one of the third parties make a commitment to the platform, I thought was a really meaningful step. So you'll hear
Well,
more.
you've got to look at it from Square Enix's perspective. They kind of got fucked by Sony because Square Enix releases Final Fantasy 16 on a console that's had distribution issues for 2 years. So a lot of people aren't going to be able to play their brand new game that they've invested fucking probably tens of millions of dollars into. Right? There's a contract with Sony. Yeah, they got fucked by Sony. There's no issues now.
Glad I
Yeah,
played
but,
that card there first.
Now, the problem is there's a lot of people that there were issues, so they bought an Xbox instead. They bought a Switch instead. They decided they weren't going to buy a PlayStation 5. Or they had the money then, they don't have it now. Like, for whatever reason, it's not possible or it's not happening now.
Or I'm not going to push them. Like, they're going to have to find their own rhythm. But having him make a commitment to Xbox was really important, both to me and I've heard it from the community to the community as well. And 14 was more of a commitment.
Yeah, you can tell me off the air, but we got to go right now. Phil, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a few more questions for you. Thank you for watching, everybody. For more on All Things Gaming, keep it right here at Gamescom with IGN.
I'm glad they asked about mods for Starfield. I never even thought of that. That's really important. Square first sales were fucked because you were having money from one platform. Well, all I'm saying is, like, it's not good for a game, and it's not good for gamers to have console exclusivity. Like, there is no upside to the consumer that a video game releases only on PlayStation, or it releases only on Xbox, or only on PC. Like, ideally, every game would be available on every platform. So just keep that in mind. So I hope that that's what happens as much as possible. And ironically, I think that the lawsuit about the, like acquisition of Activision Blizzard might have helped that along a little bit more. I feel like that's probably, like the outcome of that is probably like Overwatch going to Steam in like an indirect way. Exclusives are dumb. Well, they're not. Well, what I'm saying is that they are consumer unfriendly. Because like if you already have an Xbox, how is it good for you that you have to spend $500 again to buy a machine that's basically an Xbox, but it's called PlayStation, in order to play another game that's just not available on your platform? It's just there's no advantage.
Ongoing cards here have
people do it. Sure,
cards have +1 power. Nice.
Definitely, people do it. But I'm just saying that it's not good. It's consumer hostile. Yeah, I think so. It's a nice advantage, though. It's never the dev's intention. Oh, I know that. I know that. Of course, right? But yeah, I think this is a great interview. I'm glad they asked about mods for Starfield. The Redfall stuff, I feel like you should let them live past that. I mean, listen, Redfall was fucking garbage. Everybody knows it. What else is there to say? Oh, Nintendo does exclusives worse than anybody. Oh, yeah, there can be small advantages. I'm sure there's like different things. Exclusives help fund game development. Exclusives help fund game development. I feel like games get released on all platforms all the time. I don't like this argument that the only way was so you couldn't have a game unless it was an exclusive to a console. You have plenty of great games that are exclusive to consoles all the time, or that aren't exclusive. Yeah, come on. Console exclusives are the dinosaur version of battle passes. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Exclusives literally harm sales. Yeah. Not a fan of them, and I think that it's great that Square Enix is working with Xbox, and I hope we see more of their games go to PC as well. I think that the lack of availability of PS5s for so many years, definitely I think has hurt the performance of something like Final Fantasy 16. Like, how many of you guys don't have how many of you guys decided we're going to buy a PlayStation 5 at some point, but decided not to whenever they weren't available? A lot of people, right? And all of these me's could have been people that all they had to do was buy Final Fantasy 16 because they already had the PlayStation 5. That's it. Couldn't afford it anyway. I get it. Blizzard has stopped pretending.
It's abundantly obvious that Activision Blizzard are not the most popular bunch these days, and it's an interesting thing.
We haven't watched a Belluar video for a while. Like, it hasn't been long enough because, like, Belluar has the same problem that I do with, like, his hair, So, it hasn't been long enough for there to be, like, a visible difference. But I'm pretty sure by the time Dragonflight is over, if he has to cover, Diablo 4, man, it's going to be a different story.
This time they said, even to their own staff, that the good times were always just around the corner.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're around that corner, and we can actually see what is there. And broadly speaking, it is games that are pretty good, as just games made by designers, but also games that as overall products have severe issues.
They really should have farmed more simps by making Mei unrealistically thick whenever she took off her coat in like that cinematic. They really could have, like, that really would have taken Overwatch so much farther. That by itself, no, really, like, I mean, that would have done more for the brand than probably adding PvE to Overwatch 2.
What's became clear is they want our time and our money. Now,
Same
that
with
is a fair
Lilith,
thing.
yeah.
It just needs to be a fair exchange of our time and money in return for whatever we get from the publisher. And that is when the feelings of being nickel and dimed don't rest easy with the customer. And
Who's your operator? Kevin Durant. Nothing says Call of Duty more than Kevin Durant with a green beret and an AK-47. Bro, this game lost the fucking plot. Who the fuck wants to play Kevin Durant? It's the dumbest fucking thing. It's a bunny version of Kevin Durant. Easter Kevin Durant.
And is exactly the problem we're seeing now. More egregious business models,
Oh my
right?
God.
Because the way that they're handling their battle passes and handling their microtransactions do actually manage with just that little bit
That
of
guy looked like a cyberpunk version of the Island Boy.
extra craftiness to stick out in the industry. And if you are coming to this video being somebody that knows of Diablo 4, knows of
see that?
Overwatch 2, but maybe doesn't know
Jesus,
as much
the
about
dog,
World of
yeah.
Warcraft, trust me, I've got a great story
Well, the
about
dog. They used the. Never mind.
the goddamn crafty thing that they have just started doing in World of Warcraft.
Okay, here we
and
go.
I think you're going to love it, or at the very least find it grimly interesting.
Yeah.
So that's the situation. Amazing as games, really honestly quite dubious as products. So let's dive in to the microtransactions of Activision Blizzard and go across the whole group in a worldwide tour provided by our sponsor. Polish up your goofy gamer brain. I mean, I know mine needs it. And if you want to learn topics like maths and computer science, essentially become that modern day wizard, then interactively break big problems down into small ones, learn and understand with brilliant.org/Bellular News.
I should make my viewers do this, especially for statistics. I'll like say a statistic and people be like, well, that's not the same for me. Well, I don't think like that.
The first 200 to click my link get 20% off an annual plan, and where they've got a 30-day free trial. So why not? It's worth it. I mean, take the number crunching that goes into video games, right? Well, if you got started learning the fundamentals of computer science, a 3-part course that takes you through the pillars of the field, then perhaps hit up neural nets and algorithms, then you'll get a really good understanding of how things actually work. In one of the games that I play back in the Battle for Azeroth expansion, lag in the game completely exploded. It got insane. And the reason why is the sort of thing you will learn here.
Well, the reason why the lag was bad is you had to load in every single Azerite trait that anybody could have theoretically had, and you had to load in the numerical calculated values of Azerite trait damage from the Azerite gear that the player had in their bank and on their character. So that's why the lag was bad. And that was also for every single layer. So even if you were on a different layer, you still had to do it.
And they do so much more, partnering with amazing creators like Sabine Hossenfelder, Real Engineering, and Kurzgesagt. Brilliant basically takes the stuff that wasn't fun in school unless you had a total legend of a teacher, and it actually makes it exciting and fun. Approaching things here as an adult, I get a sense of accomplishment. It boosts my day. I think their quiz-based approach to learning is exactly the right way. So you can get started now. First 200 to click my link, get 20% off at brilliant.org/Bellular News. And then, of course, just go for the 30-day free trial. All right, that's brilliant. Check them out, and let's go. World of Warcraft, my home territory. This is going to be a fun one. Of course, World of Warcraft having a paid subscription would usually insulate it from most of the bad. Now, of course, MMO.
I mean, not anymore, bro. Like, that hasn't been the case for 10 years. Like, I've been mad about store mounts for over 10 years, and to be fair, Bellular has also been mad about store mounts for 10 years. But here's the truth, is that Final Fantasy does it, and people, listen, if, for example, a restaurant could serve shit and have people eat it, they would serve shit and have people eat shit. So, is it really the company's fault that people like eating shit? Or is it the shit eaters' fault because they just keep eating shit?
Have changed a bit. The two largest MMOs right now, Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft, both sell additional services such as leveling.
Hey, yo, fuck off Burger King. Burger King's delicious. Fuck off.
Boosts, you know, job boosts, that kind of thing, character services, and of course forms of cosmetic content on their in-game stores. World of Warcraft also has WoW Token, which is an innovation that is borrowed from CCP Games, who are the Icelandic developer of EVE Online, who of course pioneered the pilot license extension Plex, which is basically just a way to kind of buy gold
Buy
in-game,
money.
but all
Yep.
in a way that is actually taking part in the player economy. Kind of interesting, but it's old news. Today, what I want to focus on is the new thing that most non-WoW players will have no idea about, but makes for a great story. This is the trading post, right? Now, the trading post is a little area in Stormwind.
The trading post is a battle pass system that's added into the game every month. That's what it is. It's basically a battle pass for the month of activities for you to do.
Orgrimmar, you go there, you click in the NPC, and what
And
you
it's
get...
great, by the way. The trading post is a universal W. Well, it was until now. But yeah, I actually think it's a great system. It's great design. I think it's awesome.
Is every single month a different set of cosmetic items that you can purchase.
They're really
now,
cool.
they're purchased for a currency called Trader's Tender. You
Ooh,
get
tendies.
500 Trader's Tender from owning the Dragonflight expansion. You get 500 Trader's Tender per month that your account has subscription.
Oh.
And if you don't log in for a month, you don't lose it or anything. Then, of course, you get 500 a month by just playing the game.
Ooh,
that
that's
means for
the
most
worst
people, you
part.
get 1,000 Trader's Tender a month. And for that Trader's Tender, you buy items on the store. Blizzard's intent, of course, is you can't buy everything in the store every single month,
Yeah.
but
You have
that
to
is
pick.
going to be something that they think will feel a bit more okay, because as time goes on, things will rotate in and out of the store. And
Right.
broadly speaking, it's just a little bit more spice and reinforcement to play the game.
I think the traders post is a universal W, and I have nothing bad to say about it at all. It's only good.
And broadly speaking, players
Until-
actually really liked it.
Yeah.
It was a way
Sorry,
for
guys,
people
but you
access
guys
to
can hear me for a minute.
cosmetics. It
I'm gonna
wasn't
take
some
a
crazy
little
big
break
thing
and
on top of
eat
it.
and hang out with
Just
Kaylee for a little bit,
if
and
you
I'll be
wanted
back
a
on
cool
maybe this
cloak or
afternoon.
a scarf
Oh,
or
wow.
whatever,
Thanks, guys.
just go and get it. It actually felt
Moxie,
good
it was
to
good
wear.
seeing
It
you.
was a
Appreciate you
smart
stopping by.
move.